Hello and welcome to Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket, America's premium cricket show.
We are your hosts Deepika, Shri and Himanshu, ready to bring you another fun-filled episode of Cricket on Air. But before we get into our main segment, let's start with cracking up, guys. Despite scoring a fantastic century in the epic 2011 World Cup final, why didn't Jayawardene win the man of the match, guys?
Himanshu, because धोनी ने जैसे श्रीलंका को धोया था, there certainly was no chance that Jayawardene was going to get the man of the match.
Good try, Shri. Though the correct answer is that how can a Mahila win the man of the match?
यार, only you guys can find that funny. हिमांशु कोई original joke बोल यार. ये तो इतना घिस पिट के पुराना हो गया है.
Okay, fine. Here's a fresh one for you guys now. Well, you guys know that the jersey number 10 is usually worn by super duper sportsmen in all kinds of sports, right?
हिमांशु, मेरी तो एक ही कंप्लेंट है आज. कुछ नया बोल यार. ये तो सबको मालूम है. Maradona used to wear number 10 and so did Pele. आगे चलें.
अरे रुको दीपिका, रुको, थोड़ा पेशेंस रखो. जोक तो खत्म होने दो. Well, did you guys know why all of the sportsmen wear number 10?
Suddenly the engineer in me has woken up. 10 is ones and zeros, so maybe they knew about the digital age.
Bhagwan bachaye Shri se. Well, the correct answer to this one is, guys, it all started with this gentleman known as Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh. वैसे हिमांशु, I have a better joke than you this time. Seriously.
तू बोल ले.
यार मैं एक अच्छा जोक मार के रहूंगी इस cracking up में.
Let me give you a chance, Deepika. Let's try this. What is common between Ireland and Chennai?
That's a good one. Ireland is the land of Ayers and Chennai is the land of Ayers.
Yay!
So guys, that was our cracking up section for today. When we come back, we'll take you through the story of IPL, brought to you by Neo Cricket. Welcome back, friends, to America's premium show, Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket, where we are talking about the IPL today, guys. The IPL is perhaps the biggest sporting event which has totally changed the landscape of sports completely. Guys, what do you think?
I think the IPL definitely has completely changed cricket in India and cricket as a sport in the whole world.
Right.
I mean, nobody talked of any other event as much as the IPL in the last 3 or 4 years.
I think IPL is also not only the epitome of sports but also an epitome of entertainment. What it has done is brought so much of all the Bollywood presence that we see with all these stars now owning these IPL teams. Plus, at the same time, there are ads that are like the Super Bowl ads that start coming up during the IPL season. It's really changed the landscape of how cricket as a sport was mixed with entertainment and how the marriage of cricket and Bollywood has strengthened with this new concept.
Yeah, that's right, Deepika. And I also think that it's got a lot to do with the breadth of the spectators it entertains, basically, as you said, right? I mean, imagine with Test cricket, there were only few of the cricket spectators who were very, very passionate about cricket that would watch for 5 days.
Yeah, right? And people who are really free, they didn't have anything much to do also.
Well, exactly. I mean, I understand. I mean, this being your favorite tournament type, I understand that statement coming also. Because T20s really need only what, like 2 or 3 hours to watch, and people are just there for the entertainment sake. They have cheerleaders, they have music, they have, of course, the likes of Jayasuriya, Tendulkar, hitting huge sixes. So that's also.
I think the other point, Himanshu, that you brought up right now is this whole fantasy league idea which has come up with IPL, because not any time before in history could you match like a Sri Lankan player with an Indian player, with an Australian player on the same team. And that kind of a blend has really become very exciting. I mean, how cool it is to see an Australian player on a Mumbai Indian team. I mean, that didn't exist before this. And people have started to really appreciate other cricketers because now they see them playing on their own behalf. And I mean, on a recent ad, Sangakkara was speaking Punjabi in that ad. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, you never saw that before. So there's a blending of cultures and there's some kind of an identification that's
Yeah.
going on.
And I hope I don't get to see that again also. He had a very funny accent when he did that, honestly. Alright guys, time for a quick break now, and we'll be back soon. Welcome back friends to America's premium show Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket. This is your host Himanshu, and we are talking about the IPL in this episode. And talking about the starting of IPL also, guys. I mean, when did it start? Like 2008, right?
Exactly.
Right. So Shri, was there like anything before that as far as IPL, like T20s are concerned? Forget IPL.
Yeah, the start of IPL was similar to the start of one-day cricket actually. One-day cricket began in the early 60s because there were not too many people who would come down to watch test match cricket. Same way, test matches and one-days had become kind of boring in the early 2000s. And that's where someone from England came up with the concept of having 20-20 matches. Matches that would last for just 3.5 hours, that could be played in the evenings, and people would come in and throng the stadiums and watch it like with friends and family and have a great time.
So why didn't it ever take off in England the way it has taken off in India?
Well, it took off to a certain extent, but for some reason other countries just never saw 2020 as a good way of playing cricket.
Yeah, and I have another theory. I mean, the reason why it probably took off in India the way it did and never did in England or any other countries, but simply because of the volume of cricket crazy people that there are in India.
Now with all this whole mixing of different teams, I think there are people who are viewing it at an international level. So the volume, whatever is there was not contained to India, it's really grown beyond and above and beyond. You know, it's given an international exposure to this.
Yeah, and guys, I can't think of any other place in the world where you can hold the crowd's attention for like almost 2 months of non-stop, never-ending cricket every day, 2 matches a day, anywhere in the world.
I'm sure marketing has a big role to play in this as well. I don't think the sport was marketed really well when it started off in 2003, and maybe that's where the genius of Lalit Modi came into picture. About he had the vision of taking T20 as a sport, bringing it to India and possibly taking it to the whole world. So we'll talk about Lalit Modi in a few minutes from now.
Speaking of IPL 4, just wanted to remind our viewers that you can catch all the cricket action non-stop from this IPL 4 on Neo Cricket.
Welcome back to America's premium cricket show Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket. I'm Shri and we are talking about the story of IPL today. ICC World Cup of 2007 was a big debacle, and just about at the same time, Zee came up with the concept of ICL, or the Indian Cricket League. They wanted to play 20-20 matches among different teams owned by franchisees.
And I think they forgot one important part in the ICL, Shri. They forgot to include the BCCI.
Exactly.
Now that's what called तालाब में रह के मगर से बहस.
Exactly. Good point, Deepika. That's exactly how I describe BCCI, the magarmach.
And I think the problem started off because of money. BCCI surely didn't have any objection with Zee TV starting off a cricket league. It was just that Zee said that we'll hold this tournament and we'll keep all the money to ourselves.
Wow.
So BCCI was not going to get any money.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. ZTV wants to keep all the money.
Right, and eventually what happened was that the idea was taken over by BCCI also. They adopted the idea and they put this one rather very interesting personality, Lalit Modi, in charge of what they named the IPL, which was the Indian Premier League.
So that was Lalit Modi becoming part of the BCCI when
Not really.
IPL came into picture?
Lalit Modi was a part of the BCCI till then. He was the president of the Rajasthan Cricket Association when this happened, but he just had a very nominal role in the day-to-day functioning of the BCCI. With the advent of IPL, Lalit Modi really became Lalit Modi.
But how did he got picked for this specific role?
Well, I think that Lalit Modi himself was very instrumental in actually taking up the idea of the ICL and branding it as IPL, and eventually coming up with the rules of the IPL. And you know, as a fact, for the past 3 years, Lalit Modi has been the chairman of the IPL, and he's also called the father of IPL to some extent. Alright guys, time for a quick break now, and we'll be back soon.
Welcome back, friends. You're listening to Deepika on Cricket on Air, America's premium cricket show brought to you by Neo Cricket. We are talking about the IPL.
I think one of the cool things that Lalit Modi did was that he married the cricket, the sport cricket, with the business of cricket. You know, that's the best way to put it I can think of. I mean, imagine we have all these, big guns of India, big industrialists like Vijay Malaya,
Preeti Zinta,
Ambani.
And all of them have...
The Ambani family has become a constant in each of the matches.
Right, and they have money flowing from every possible place, right? And put that together in a mixture of cricket and the cricket players in a cricket crazy nation, and what do you have? You have the birth of perhaps one of the biggest cricketing tournaments or cricketing franchises that there ever was.
And to just rewind a little bit, a few episodes ago, we talked about how when this magazine owner had come up with the concept of just a cricket match and nobody had actually bought it. And now look at this, is just 180-degree opposite. I think the real magic is in how Lalit Modi executed on this concept and enrolled other people to buy into this. I mean, he must be the world's best salesperson to have done so well with this concept.
Absolutely. I think the best thing that IPL did was basically coin the term cricketainment. It was the perfect marriage of cricket, Bollywood, business, gossip, in fact, page 3 parties and everything that you could think of.
As is the thing with any big, huge success stories, there is also the other side of it, which is the dark side of things. There have been many detractors of IPL simply because a lot of people see IPL as tainting the pure sport of cricket. Alright guys, time for a quick break now, and we'll be back soon.
Welcome back, friends. You're listening to Deepika on Cricket on Air, America's premium cricket show brought to you by Neo Cricket. Today we are covering the IPL. You know what, guys? What really baffles me is the amount of money that is involved in this whole franchise. Billions of dollars are made in this franchise. Millions and millions of dollars are paid to the coaches, the players, and also I see that money is also getting apart from distribution rights of media rights that are associated with the IPL. So all kind of media outlets like the TV, the radio, they have to pitch in and be part of this whole franchise. Most exciting part of this whole thing is about how endorsements for the cricketers has become such an important part of this business. So there are multiple streams of revenues. I mean, it's like a mind-boggling franchise.
It is indeed, and I mean, not to forget the advertisements. I mean, there have been so many different kind of advertisements from the biggest brands in the industry, like, Pepsi. Pepsi advertises hugely in the IPL. It gets the best of the best, and then they have these 30-second or 1-minute ads running, perhaps not even one, many players, many famous players, and God knows what money they must be paying them for that ad.
I know.
And not to forget, we are living in a digital age, or the age of the internet. There are ads which are made in such a way so that they won't be actually televised on TV. They are actually banned advertisements and they are put on YouTube, and they become famous just on YouTube.
So that's
usually, I mean, you know what, guys? Let's play a couple of these ads for our audiences.
Manshu, they are banned.
Yeah.
On perhaps the official channels.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way, guys. If you want to see some of these advertisements, get onto our Facebook page, facebook.com/cricketonair. That brings me to a very interesting story. The story of the fake IPL player. In 2008, blogger probably, he just decided to create a blog named The Blog of the Fake IPL Player. He just said he was from the Kolkata Knight Riders team, and he just kept on writing blogs one after the other as if he was an actual player. He talked about team meetings, he talked about Shah Rukh Khan, he talked about Sourav Ganguly, and the blog itself was named The Fake IPL Player, and he wrote it so well that people really got hooked onto it. All of that was fake.
Yeah, it's almost like you're in a fantasy world, right? You're just recreating a story which is a total fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, and given the performance of the Kolkata Knight Riders in the past couple of years in the IPL, they're probably also a fake IPL team.
I know.
Speaking of IPL 4, just wanted to remind our viewers that you can catch all the cricket action non-stop from this IPL 4 on Neo Cricket.
When we come back, we'll talk about some of the controversies associated with the IPL.
Welcome back, friends, to America's premium show, Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket. And we are talking about the IPL in this episode. So guys, we have talked about the money, the fame, the fortunes, and all the cheerleaders and the models and all the parties of the IPL. All good things. How about the other side of the coin, the dark side of the IPL? The IPL controversies. You know, some say that the IPL has actually tainted cricket as a sport.
I think this was a natural progression, guys. I mean, if you look at how we progress over an evolution, first we came up with a car, then we came up with a train, and now we came with an airplane. First we came out with a test match, we came out with the ODI, and now we have a T20. It's a natural progression. And really, I think the people who really think this is a bad thing for cricket are just hanging into an old adage, and they're holding on to something that probably is not even relevant to the new generation.
Yeah, but some people really want to ride in a car, Deepika. They want to enjoy the journey of the whole thing rather than reaching the destination quickly.
So actually, if you look at it, even when one-day cricket started, there was all this controversy about whether it's good for the game, whether it's really going to dilute the game and stuff like that. Going further, when day and night matches started and colored clothing came in, people started calling it pajama cricket.
That's true.
They didn't really like it. But it's become a part of life today. It's become a part of cricket today.
Those pajamas have become more colorful over the period of time.
Absolutely. So, in fact, they now make a style statement through those, right? So, and when any new concept comes in, it does take some time for people to adjust to it. And I think IPL and T20s are just through that phase where people have still not accepted it.
But guys, what about players like, who are still in their prime, yet they choose to go and stick with tournaments like the IPL and 2020s, and they retire from test cricket or one days? What about that? I mean, isn't that diluting cricket?
I do think that there are cricketers and there will be cricketers who will say that I play cricket because it's my passion, and the best form of cricket that I would like to play in is maybe test matches and one days and probably not the IPL. Two examples that come to mind: Michael Clarke from Australia has already declined playing the IPL, playing T20s. He's just said, I'm going to play test matches and one days. Second one is Daniel Vittori. He said he's not going to play 2020 cricket anymore. And so there might be some players who will keep playing 2020s because it gives them a lot of money, but at some point they might just say, you know what, I've had too much money.
I think these players are already probably established on an international scene, but
sure,
there's so many youngsters who are coming up. This is like an absolutely phenomenal launch pad to a career in cricket, and I think that is what's so exciting about it, that you don't have to worry about the pipeline that you need for your own national team because you've already seen some of the young players playing in the IPL, and that makes a whole lot of a difference for the confidence of the nation.
Alright guys, time for a quick break now, and we'll be back soon.
Hello and welcome to Cricket on Air, brought to you by Neo Cricket. I'm your host Deepika, and we're talking about the IPL. So I think that 2011 IPL will be bigger and better than ever before.
Well, definitely it's going to be bigger, Deepika, because there are two more teams being added to the IPL, which is the Pune team as well as the Kochi team.
But guys, this is going to be the first IPL without the man himself, Lalit Modi. I don't know how that's going to pan out, but
I think whether Lalit Modi is there or not, because IPL has taken a shape of its own, and it's now it has a life of its own. It's going to live through this situation, and we're going to see that it can exist without him being there.
Yeah, and I have my own conspiracy theories, guys, about this.
Oh my god.
I think that Lalit Modi probably is pulling some strings sitting all the way in England, and who knows, he might still be the mastermind behind the IPL.
Let's take your opinions, guys. Let's see whom are you rooting for in this IPL. Himanshu.
I am going for the Bangalore team this time, Shri.
Okay.
And although I am from Delhi originally, I simply don't think Delhi have the firepower in their team. But the Bangalore team really looks very balanced to me.
Why?
It has Daniel Vittori in it, who's the captain of the Bangalore team, and then it also has players like AB de Villiers who can hit the ball really far away, And it also has a very well balanced side with the bowlers as well.
And of course, I thought the reason you liked the Bangalore team was because they have Kingfisher.
Well,
Yes.
I have my own reasons, but let's keep it official, guys.
Alright, Deepika, whom are you rooting for this time?
You know that I would never move away from UV Puttar. So wherever UV goes, I follow him. So for me, it's a no-brainer. He's playing from the Pune team, and so I'm with them.
That's great. I'm going to be rooting for Mumbai.
Well, no surprise, Shri. It's because Sachin Tendulkar is playing for Mumbai.
You got it. Actually, an IPL 100 doesn't count as an international 100. I wish it could, so that I could say that Sachin's 100th 100 came in an IPL match. Alright guys, time to wrap up. We'll be back with another exciting episode of Cricket on Air, same time next week, right here on Cricket on Air. Until then, enjoy the IPL action only on Neo Cricket.